What is up, guys? Today we're going to be going over how to do Barrows. If you have any suggestions for another type of Ultimate Noobs Guide video, go ahead and leave a suggestion and I'll make sure to do that. If you have never done Barrows before or need some reminders on how to do it, then this video is for you. Barrows is not very hard, but it can be intimidating if you've never done it before. The reason people do Barrows are for the valuable items that you can receive from the chest. All of the Barrows items can be received, and many of the items such as the Guthan's War Spear, the Varrock Plate Skirt, the Carol Top, and other items are all over 1 mil. Additionally, Blood, Chaos, Death, and Mind Runes can be received. With the Mauritania Hard Diaries completed, you can make much more money because you receive 50% more runes, so if you're going to keep doing Barrows, I suggest that you do this so you can get more money. Also, there are other items receivable like the Dragon Med Helm, Key Pieces, and Bolt Racks, but those items do not help much with money, so people typically do not do Barrows to get those. In order to make Barrows more efficient and easier, I would recommend certain stats. I would recommend 75 plus magic for the Trident, 70 plus defense, 70 plus range, 43 plus prayer, and 50 plus strength and attack just to make your combat higher and hit points higher. These are just recommendations and you can do Barrows with much lower stats. In fact, Barrows can be done with 60 plus magic to use the Iban's staff or any other spell, 1 defense, 61 range, 43 prayer, and 1 strength and attack. Before you do Barrows, you must know what combat styles the brothers use and what combat style you should use on them. Aram uses magic, and you should use range on him. Carol uses range, and you should use magic on him. Even though he uses range armor, magic works best on him. Darok, Varrock, Torag, and Guthan all use melee, and you should use magic on them. Keep in mind, when fighting the melee brothers, you should be praying from melee, and when fighting Aram, you should pray from mage, and when fighting Carol, you should pray from range. If you have a high defense, you will not need to pray from all of the brothers, but it is up to you. Now I'll show you guys what to use against each brother. With Aram, you should use the Toxic Blowpipe. If you cannot afford it, then you should use the Rune Crossbow, and the ammo for the blowpipe should be Mithril darts or higher if you can afford it, and the bolts for the Rune Crossbow should be broad bolts as they are cheap and strong. With Carol, you should use the Trident of the Swamp if you can afford it, then use the Trident of the Seas. If you cannot afford that and do not have 75 magic, use the Iban's Staff and Iban's Blast, which requires the completion of the Underground Pass. If you have a lower magic level or do not want to use the Iban's Staff, you can use any staff and the highest spell you can use. For Darok, Varrock, Torag, and Guthan, you should use the same order of staffs as used on Carol. Now that we understand how the brothers will be attacked, we will move on to the kill count. Now the kill count can be confusing, so I've put the explain drop table on screen, and if you want to understand it more in depth, then pause the video and go ahead and read that. Long story short, I recommend you do 3 skeletons and all the brothers. If you're curious as to why, it is because it is the most efficient way to get runes and Barrows items. Now I will get into the setups I recommend. Starting with the wealthier setup I recommend, the gear is the Varrock Helm, Occult Necklace, Fire Cape or Magic Cape, Peaceful Blessing, Torag Plate Body, Trident of the Seas or Swamp, Varrock's Plate Skirt, Book of Darkness, Bando's Boots, Regent Bracelet, and the Seer's Ring. Feel free to use better items where you see fit. Basically, you want to wear high defense armor because it does not matter because your Trident will still hit them because they have very low magic defense, so you'll still be able to hit through them regardless if you're wearing magic armor or not. The inventory has the Toxic Blowpipe, a spade to get to each brother, God D'hide Top, God D'hide Chaps, Ava's Accumulator, Amulet of Fury, 3 prayer pots in case you need extra, an Archer's Ring, a Ranging Potion to make the trip easier, a Stamina Potion in case you run out of run, Barrows Teleports, Ring of Dueling to get to Clan Wars, and Monkfish. The medium setup gear is the Helm of Natus Knot, Occult Necklace, Fire Cape, Blessing, Trident of the Seas, God D'hide Top and Bottom, Book of Darkness, Combat Bracelet, Dragon Boots which cost about the same as Bando's Boots, and the Seer's Ring. The inventory is almost the same as before, and the lower price gear setup is almost the same other than a Glory, Black D'hide Body and Chaps, and Broad Bolts. In the inventory, if you can afford it, is the Occult Necklace, so use that when using magic and switch to the Glory. Otherwise, use the Glory the whole time. Also in the inventory is the same items, but instead of a blowpipe, there's a Rune Crossbow, and instead of monkfish, there are lobsters. I will now explain how to get to the Barrows brothers. The only option I recommend is using Barrows teleport tabs, as they take you right there and occupy 1 inventory space. If you don't want to use those, or you are an Iron Man, you can use fairy rings to teleport near the Barrow brothers. The codes that can be used are BKR or BIP. Where you go after a run is either to your player-owned house if you have pools that restore health, prayer, and run energy, or you can use what I use, which is the Ring of Dueling, and teleport to Clan Wars. Once at Clan Wars, enter the clan portal, and then teleport to Barrows, then all your stats and energy will be restored. There are 2 paths I recommend when doing the Barrows brothers. The path on the left is the order that I recommend if you really don't want to waste prayer potions. This order allows you to use prayer on brothers that can hit very hard, leaving the weaker brothers that don't always need prayer last. The path on the right is the quickest way to finish all 6 brothers. The order is 1 being the first brother and 6 being the last brother. Now once you get to the Barrows gravesite, you dig with a spade at the top of each hill where each brother is. Then you open each coffin and the brother will spawn. If it does not let you open the coffin and this appears, then that is the brother that the crypt is under. If this happens before the last brother, then you continue on to the next brother in the order you choose and go to the brother with the crypt underneath the last. I will show you all of this on video later, but this is what the map of inside the crypt looks like. When you enter the crypt from the last coffin, you will be in one of the ladder rooms. Once in the ladder room, you want to move to the corner closest to the chest room. I will use the top right ladder room as an example. So when you enter, you land here. Then you want to move to here. Once here, you want to zoom out as much as possible and look at all the chest doors you can see, and see if you can open one of them. Normally you can only see 3 of the 4 doors, so if the 3 that you can see do not have the open option, then it is the door you cannot see that is the final door to open. Once you figure out which chest door you're going to have to open at the end, you have to figure out which ladder room door you can open. The door that is a different color is the one that you can open, so just quickly look around at the 4 ladder doors, and once you find the door you can open, then you can start your path to the final door. So let's say the ladder room door you could open was this door, and the chest door you could see was that door. You would just take the shortest path from the ladder door to the chest door. On your way to the chest door, you should get your 3 skeleton kill count. The last Barrow brother you must kill will either pop up randomly from one of the doors you are opening, or from the chest at the end. If this happens before the chest, then you just switch to mage gear if needed and finish off the last brother. Otherwise, finish off the brother once you open the chest. Now the chest doors have puzzles you have to unlock in order to get to the chest. These are the answers to each puzzle. If you want to memorize this, go ahead and pause the video. Okay, now that you know everything about Barrows, I will show you what a typical run looks like. Okay, so now we are ready to do our Barrows run. So you just go ahead and break your Barrows teleport. Make sure you set up your quick prayer to have melee, so you can just click that easily. And the first brother we're going to go to is Darok. So you're going to run up here, dig with your spade, run over here, select your prayer, and then go ahead and stand by the stairs so you can get away easily once you kill him. If you want, you can also prayer flick in between hits. It's a little scary, but if you feel confident, you can do it. But I'm just going to leave it on, so I'm going to quickly try to kill Darok with magic. Okay, he is dead, so now I'm going to run down to Torag. Or no, sorry, Guthan. Torag's on the opposite side, on the left side. So I'm going to kill him. See, even though I'm wearing melee armor, I can still easily hit through them with my magic. So that's Carol, so I would have had to switch and pray to range. So now we're going to go to Torag. So since when I searched the sarcophagus with Carol and that thing popped up, that means the crypt's going to be under him. So I'm going to do the rest of the order of the Barrows, and then I can go to Carol and then dig down there, and then I can go down into the crypt, and then that is where I'll run around. So now we'll do Varrock, or Varric, I'm not sure how to say it. So go ahead and search the sarcophagus. So he can actually hit through prayer, but you still want a prayer because there's less likely that he'll hit you. Okay, now we run to Aram. We actually need to eat one of these so I can wield my blowpipe. So drink your ranging potion and switch to your range gear. You don't have to pray from Aram because I actually use the blowpipe to heal up, but I do have a little bit of prayer, so I may as well use it. Oops. Crap. Misclick. But anyways, go back down. So I won't use pray here. So if he hits, you just heal up with your toxic blowpipe. And now we will go down into the crypt. And this is the message that I showed you guys earlier. You've found a hidden tunnel. Do you want to enter? Just click yes. And then now that we're in the ladder room, we're going to run over to the corner, and we happen to already be there, so this is the corner by the door. So see how these two doors are the same color? So those aren't the doors, but we can't open either of these. Okay, so we can open that one. So that's the door we need to get to, and this is the door we can open. See how the color's different? These are the colors of the doors you cannot open, and then these are the colors of the doors you can. So now we're going to run all the way around. And whenever a skeleton spawns between these doors, we're going to go ahead and kill it. So I'm going to kill 3 skeletons to get my kill count to where I think it's the best. Now to get the kill count, I would just recommend using a blowpipe in your range gear because it seems to be easier that way, but if you do have really high melee stats, you can go ahead and switch to a whip instead. I just use the toxic blowpipe because that way I don't have to bring another item, and it's just easier for me because I have a higher range level. Alright, so now we're going to have, now eventually Carol's going to go ahead and spawn, so we have to be ready to fight Carol, so I went ahead and switched to my mage gear. Okay, so now Carol has spawned. I do have to drink a prayer potion and pray range because Carol can't hit through prayer, or can hit without prayer. So even though Carol has range armor, the magic still hits super quickly through it. Alright, so we're almost to the door, one more room and then we get to the door. So you just keep running through these doors. Then you go through this one. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. And now the puzzle is going to appear. So if you've memorized the puzzles, you know the answers to all of them, so it's not too hard. So now we run over here, and then we're going to go ahead and open the chest. Okay, so that's not a bad drop. So we're going to go ahead and rub our Ring of Dueling, not drop hit. Then we're going to go to Clan Wars. And if you need more gear, we're going to run by the bank, so you can just go ahead and bank right there, but I do not need more gear, so I'm just going to run over here and run through the teleport to reset my stats. And then I will teleport to Barrows. And then I would do another run and see how my stats reset. Alright, perfect. If you do the methods that I recommend, then you can make 600k plus per hour, but you can make up to 1 mil plus per hour depending on if you get expensive Barrows pieces. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like. If you want to continue to watch these types of videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Again, if you have any suggestions for another Ultimate Noobs Guide, go ahead and leave a suggestion in the comments. People have said Zora, for example, but I want to know what else you guys want to see. Thank you so much for all the support, and if you want to join a CC that is beginning and starting to grow, join mine. It is just my username Hartblitz. I also have a Discord, and it is in the description. Thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for my next video.